Hey fellow tankers, it's Mobius Y here with another edition of Tanker Talk, and thanks for coming by to this edition. So I'm just going to give an update on things that are going on with my upcoming projects here. So Heavy Duty is drawing to a close. There's only 2 episodes left for me to upload. I'm just about done with the M103, and all I'll have to do after that is record a few games with the T110E5 and compile those for the final episode of Heavy Duty, which will be available just at the end of June here. So with that finishing off, I'll be able to move on and start working on some other projects that I've been kind of sort of working on behind the scenes here. But after I finish grinding for the T110E5, the next line I will be going up is obviously the Object 430. So, in doing that, I will be doing things a little bit differently as opposed to my previous grinding series. With the Object 430 line, I'm going to be starting at the Tier 5 T-34 medium tank. But I'm strongly considering not doing a video about it, seeing as the T-34 also leads into the T-54 line, which gives you either the Object 140 or the T-62A. So I'm thinking of just getting the T-34, playing that, grinding that out, and researching the Tier 6 A43, and starting uploading videos starting at the A43 while I go up the Object 430 line. So not only that, I'm also not going to be playing every package on these tanks. It's been commented on numerous times. I have over 2 million free XP sitting on my account. I'm going to start using it, but I'm not going to free XP entire tanks. Not for a long time, I don't think. So with the Object 430 line, I will free XP the packages so that I get the tank fully upgraded right off the bat. I may go back and open up 1 or 2 of the earlier packages. It depends on how much silver is on my account. But grinding out an entire line and playing every package like I did with Heavy Duty, and even with Incoming Object for the Object 268, puts a major drain on my silver reserves. I mean, sure, I'm getting silver while I play the game and grind out those lines, but I'm losing more than I'm gaining while grinding, simply because in the higher tiers especially, the packages are just so expensive, especially around tiers 7, 8, and 9, when the packages are nice and cheap, and you're getting them quickly, and they're still costing, anywhere between 2 to 500,000 silver sometimes. They put a drain on your silver account. And especially purchasing a tier 10 tank, 6.1 million silver, that's tough for everybody. So, in prepping for the Object 430 line, I would like to work on my medium games again. I need to start working on a tank talk for the Bat Chat. I've been saying this for quite a while now, like I have been with the Leopard 1, and I've got nothing prepped for it, so I want to start getting some gameplay with that. I also want to prep for a tank talk on the T-54, or just starting with some generic gameplay on the T-54, and get that in the works as well. I need to work on the crew for the T-54 some more. I have my 3rd crew in the T-54. I've worked on 2 crews previously that I put into other Russian tanks. I simply used the T-54 for working on those crews and learning 2 skills on those crews, and then they went into other tanks. So the T-54, I think I have between 150 and 200 games in the frickin' thing, and I've got my 3rd crew in it, working on its 2nd skill already, I believe, which is so it's getting a little ridiculous. So I need to finish I believe I have 6 cents on the crew already. I need to finish the 2nd skill, which I'm pretty sure is repairs. And once that's done, I can start recording some gameplay with the T-54 that I will be comfortable with. So on top of that, I mentioned a silver drain. I'm going to be playing the IS-6 to train a crew in preparation for the Object 430 line. I will be training a crew with the IS-6 as well as earning silver to kind of build up my silver bank after purchasing the T110E5. I'm going to need it eventually. So after I get, I figure about a good 200 games in, maybe even 300 games with the IS-6, just working on that crew, then I think that crew will have enough perks and skills, probably 3 or 4, as well as be overtrained enough where I can move it into starting with the T-34 and then start going up the Object 430 line from there. So, as I've said previously, I've got a fair bit on my plate still, kind of just musing around in my mind. And I'm also thinking of two kind of, how do I explain this? Two different playlists that I'm thinking of adding to my channel. I'm thinking of starting a playlist where I do kind of, I basically do a tank talk, but I do it more on lower tier tanks and explain why that tank would be a very feasible buy to those that are newer to the game, or simply would like to learn certain mechanics of the game. You know, some low tier scary, or even just low tier fun tanks you can fart around in and enjoy your time if you're not that serious about World of Tanks, or you know, you just want to have a good time in World of Tanks and you're not too concerned about grinding up the lines, things like that, or even just tanks where you can learn basic things such as how to effectively use your camo and things like that. So I'd probably cover tanks such as the Su-85B Tier 4 Tank Destroyer, the Cruiser 2 Tier 3 Light Tank, even the Panzer 1C, because that's a fun tank, that's a Tier 3 Light Tank. You know, tanks like that, even something like the Matilda, so on and so forth. Just good, strong tanks in the lower tiers that would be good for newcomers to the game to acquire early, and you know, learn the basics of the game, such as penetration, overall tactics, how to use your camo, how to spot, so on and so forth. I've been thinking about it for several weeks now while I've been grinding for the T110E5. I'm not sure if that's going to go through. And the other thing that I'm considering doing is once the Xbox One version comes out, folks like me, we're pretty much going to be a dime a dozen, where there's people uploading gameplay videos left and right using the built-in Xbox One upload feature, I figure. So I'm kind of debating whether I might want to do something where I have people send me their upload files of a nice game that they had, and I'll take a look at it on my Xbox One, go over it, and if I like it, then record it with my capture card onto my computer and then put it on my YouTube channel and just kind of showcase a great game played by users like you. I'm not sure if I want to actually go through with that, to be totally honest, as that would be quite time consuming, and me myself, I prefer playing World of Tanks over watching other people play it, to be totally honest. I'm probably one of the least, how do I explain this? I'm probably one of the least contributing World of Tanks Xbox YouTubers to other YouTubers. I spend way more time playing than and editing my own crap rather than watching other people's really good videos. But I do that occasionally from time to time. You know, during the week I usually just go check all the channels that I know of off the top of my head, and you know, if I see something that I like, sit down, watch it for 20-30 minutes, leave a comment, so on and so forth. I'm kind of thinking of going that route where I'll have people send me your gameplay on the Xbox One, and you know, save it onto my computer and give it some commentary or something like that. I really don't know. I'm strongly considering just not doing it. It does seem like a neat idea in some ways, but in a lot of other ways, it's like I really don't want to bother. But I'm considering it. I mean, like I said, I'm not completely settled on it. As well as, like I said, doing reviews of lower tier tanks, and not just doing a tank talk saying this is how you play it, but simply saying this is how you can play this tank, and here's why, and here's what playing this tank will teach you. You know, those kind of things for the newer players. And you know, though I'm thinking those may be the kind of videos that some of you World of Tanks veterans could even show to your friends or people that are getting new at the game and saying, hey, check out this video. This guy shows off one of these lower tier tanks that you can get fairly quickly and how you can play it. And, you know, maybe consider getting this tank and see if you have fun with it too, that kind of stuff. Sticking with things, you know, tier 5 or lower especially. But, you know, before I put those things in the works, I got a lot of stuff to do. The two more important things is prepping for the Object 430 line by playing the IS-6 and getting a decent padding of silver, as well as training the crew with the IS-6. And by playing the IS-6 so much, I will be doing a tank talk with the IS-6 and explaining why, for pretty much a $50 premium tank, I think it is definitely worth the buy. I've been having a lot of fun with the IS-6 lately, and it's very enjoyable. So I will be doing a premium tank talk of the IS-6. I'll definitely give it a more favorable review than the Super Pershing. Sorry, Super Pershing, you're just not for me. And yeah, like I said, lots of stuff coming up in the next couple months here over the summer. Heavy Duty will be closing up in the next couple weeks here. IS-6 tank talk coming up shortly after that. T-54 gameplay coming up sometime in July here. Expect a Bat Chat tank talk sometime before the end of August. As well as once I have enough games in the T110E5, as I strongly suspect I will play it more than I've played my Object 268, I will do a tank talk on the T110E5 once I hit, 100 plus games, maybe 150 games with that tank as well, and do a proper review of the T110E5. So, I'm going to shut up now. I've been babbling for about 10 minutes here, so I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks very much for listening. As I said, keep your eyes open for any new projects that I've got coming out. And, yeah, I hope to see you on the battlefield. This is Mobius Y signing off. Keep on tanking, and you guys have a good night.